And right now we want to take you live to Charlotte, North Carolina. Trey Yingst is on the scene. Second night of violent protest against police officers. Trey?
Yeah, that's right. It's been really just chaos here in downtown Charlotte. What started out as a very peaceful protest quickly erupted into something that is more violent than what I've seen many nights in Ferguson or Baltimore. Riot police are out here using flash grenades, they're using tear gas, and they're really just trying to get the situation under control. It's been going on for about 3-4 hours now, and it's very difficult to get the situation under control. When you walk down through the streets of downtown Charlotte, it looks like a war zone. Glass litters the streets, you can smell tear gas and smoke in the air, and as you can see behind me, the police officers look like they're ready for war because, quite frankly, that is what has happened here in Charlotte tonight.
Trey, Mike Deneau here in the studio. We've been watching you out there all night long. You've been talking to protesters, some peaceful and some not so peaceful, and I will refer to the not so peaceful one as those who are rioting. The peaceful ones, the one who are talking to you, methodically and saying this is what they want. Why are they doing this? What do they want, Trey?
So they've told me that they want more information on the shooting. This shooting in particular that happened yesterday has a lot of details that aren't out there yet, and they really just want more details into the shooting. From what we know, the police have said they arrived on the scene in North Charlotte. They were delivering a warrant to a completely different person than they actually ended up engaging. But when this man got out of the car, this 43-year-old man, he had a gun.
Trey, it's 11 o'clock over there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Right behind you, we see police in riot gear. What is the scene like, right? Is it de-escalating right now? Is it just kind of sitting there on the Mason-Dixon line, or is it basically ready to explode again?
I can still hear flashbangs off in the distance. You can still smell tear gas in the air. So what that tells me is that although it may not be happening right behind me, as you saw earlier, it's been happening all over downtown Charlotte. So I think this night is not anywhere close to being over. I actually just saw someone who looked like they were from the National Guard who was talking to one of the head police officers who's out here tonight, which indicates to me that you may see the National Guard coming into North Carolina tomorrow to control the situation.
Trey, about an hour ago, I saw you in the heat of it, and rioters and protesters were around you, and they were yelling at you. What were they saying to you?
They were just yelling, "We want the facts, release the video, Black Lives Matter." Many of the protesters out here have a different message. There's a mixed group of emotions. Some people are upset just because someone in their city was killed by police officers. Some people are upset because they think this is part of a larger trend. Some people are upset because the police fired tear gas to disperse the crowd. People are out here for all different reasons, so you hear people yelling, and it's often difficult to understand exactly why they're out here, but I think the general message that people have is they want more information into yesterday's shooting where a man was ultimately killed by police.
Trey, we're all about peaceful protests, but this thing was not peaceful at all. We've been seeing reports of looting. How many shops have you seen? How many stores? What kind of stores have you seen been broken into?
I've seen probably 10 or 15 different stores, and that's just from my vantage point within a 4 to 6 block radius here in downtown Charlotte. We've been hearing reports about looting all over downtown for the entirety of the night. I'd also like to mention that I saw a lot of TV crews that were being attacked. It's been very dangerous to be the news media out here because oftentimes people feel that they can't trust the mainstream media, the corporate media. So they've been yelling that at us tonight. We've been thankful to kind of stay out of that. We explained to them we're with One American News. We're out here trying to get the facts and hear from both sides, and we've been able to pretty much stay out of the violence. But I've seen probably 5 or 6 different TV crews that have been attacked. I saw one photographer who was punched in the face.
Trey, I see about a dozen riot police behind you. What is the game plan tonight, if any, that you know from police? Are they just going to wait this thing out? Do they plan on going all night? Is it maybe in like an hour they start arresting people? What's the game plan?
So it's very difficult for the police to arrest people because when they send one officer into dangerous situation. We've seen a number of protesters who have turned to rioters out here that have guns on their hips. and the police can only imagine what things could happen if it escalates any more out here. So they're really just trying to make sure that the officers from the Charlotte Police Department and surrounding municipalities that have come here to help are safe. So right now they're hanging back. They're trying to slowly clear out downtown Charlotte by using those flash grenades and that tear gas. And it's really anyone's guess as to when it will be over tonight, because when they move protesters to one block, they go on to the next block, and it's really just a game of cat and mouse here in Charlotte.
Trey, final question, twofold. If you could gauge how many protesters are still out there within your eyesight, and can you gauge the temperature level out there with protesters, with rioters right now?
So from my vantage point right now, and we're gonna kind of move out of the way here because there's a police vehicle that is coming through. But from my vantage point right now, I can't see any protesters because we're on this blocked off street where many of the businesses were hit. What I will tell you is down the street where we just came from, there's still about 150 people that are out in the streets, and they are not at this location any longer where the man was shot earlier, but they've moved down the street. So I would say there's anywhere from 100 to 150 people still in the streets of Charlotte tonight.
Speaking of which, from where you are right now, where was that man shot? About how far?
To my left, maybe 200 yards from where I'm standing right now, and you may be able to hear on the microphone there are flashbangs going off in the distance, but the camera's going to pan over here, and you can see a group of officers who's kind of lined up around the crime scene there where that happened. It's very close, and all of this looting and rioting has happened in downtown Charlotte.